Hey guys.
Hello, everyone.
Awesome.
How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Excited.
So we got Crypto Blood, Todd, and what's your name? Sorry.
John, hello.
Oh yes,
What's going on,
that's
guys?
me. My name is Igor.
Igor, okay.
Igor. Okay.
Igor.
All right. We'll make a note of that then, just for. See, I might be able to. Do you mind if I've somehow been able to change your name. Do you mind if we make that Igor just for the recording essentially?
Yeah, I'm asking. It's asking me for record permissions from the host. I'm not sure.
Cool. Let me see if I can fix that for you. Cool. Yeah, I'm extending the permissions to you guys. So if you want to start recording yourself, so everyone's got a copy.
Perfect. How's everyone doing? Thanks for showing up.
Good, Todd. How are you, man?
I'm so excited.
Doing great, man. Good to see you.
Early in the morning over here, but I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, right. It's a little bit early here too, East Coast, but
yeah,
not too early. Ready to go.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, good to see everyone. Let's see here.
all right.
Cool. I'm ready to start when you guys are.
All right, so let's start with Igor. He's top left for me.
Yes, I can start. It's a great honor for me to be in this call, and I'm super excited. What should I do?
Did you want to introduce yourself? Sort of say if you're running or not, and if you are running, what you'd like to sort of put funding towards and what you would like to do, kind of thing.
Yes, I would propose very simple idea to take care of our planet and of environment, because I would just trust in our collective intelligence and propose the simple idea that using the same fractal democracy process, we can figure out how to distribute money to do something good for our planet.
Excellent.
Cool. Crypto Blood, did you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. Crypto Blood, professionally known as Jerry Rucker, managing director of EOS Detroit, one of the block producers. Wax, not Wax, but EOS IL. We do block producer Wax, EOS, Telos, and two other EOS IL blockchains. But I think what I would do if, moving to the next round, my whole initiative is more so awareness, right? So that's what I do on a daily basis with my internet personality, Crypto Blood, on Twitter, on YouTube. Have like 17,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube, maybe about 8,000 on Twitter. So I think I could bring a lot of awareness to our community with weekly videos starting out. We just actually put a lot of money into a studio here in Detroit. I would turn the camera around, but we've got equipment, green screens, lighting, everything ready to roll. So our initiative is to do this anyway, but it would be great to have additional funds for that as well.
Awesome. Todd, did you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've basically just come here to show up, support what we've got going on. Got a few projects going on myself, but I'll be honest with you, John, seeing your face here pop up in our channel is pretty much just veered my whole attention in directions, because from what I've seen, what you've done with Violet Garden here recently, I've been completely blown away and amazed. To be honest with you, so it's sort of just taking me back. Of now being in a room with you, it's like you know, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm kind of putting all projects and everything I had to the side, because I've been so blown away with what you've done so far with Violet Garden, man. I'd almost be already willing to say, hey, man, I support you at this point. I do have a project that I'm going to be starting up, roundtableresearch.org. And it's going to be using the EdenOS governance process sort of as our governance structure. It will be a DAO, but what we can do with Violet Garden, I think in the immediate term can bring that quick win. So I'm looking forward to what you got to say here, and we see what we can do to help you out and support you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks a lot for the support. That's great.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Dwan Philippi?
Yeah, Dwayne.
Dwayne, sorry. Okay. That's easy.
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. I'm with CSX. We're a block producer on a lot of the EOS IO chains and Crown DAC. And lately been active as kind of a group in Alien Worlds. Had a chance to participate in the first election, and what I pitched there is going to be the same thing I'll pitch again. We wanted to expand the Eden membership and reach out to people that might not be as EOS centric or understanding of all the projects or as involved as say block producers and people like everybody on the call here. And we just wanted to expand consortium app, where we kind of had a UBI where we used their voting app to drop tokens on Eden members. And I'll just, if you go to app.consortium.vote, as Eden members, if you haven't gone over there and collected a bunch of these different tokens from different communities, it gives you a bag full of communities. And when we started, we put on Crown and Consortium token, and then another third token of Vlad's. And now it's increased that Void's on there. You get some Void tokens and some other communities. So regardless if I get voted in, we're going to do the second step of that and offer more rewards and integrate other communities, and seeing, maybe they're not as focused as, bringing more members or awareness to Eden, or but sort of the whole, Violet Garden, attempt of bringing in a use case for Eden to these different communities. So starting with Consortium, we'll fund that. It's myself, Max Infeld, and our team at Kinder Miners. And I would anticipate the next round, one of the incentives we'll be bringing in, or really trying to bring in a lot of players of these new games, especially Alien Worlds, where Alien Worlds is teaching people about a DAC and a DAO, and they have the unique problem of a lot of users, and a lot of those users are bots. So we'd obviously, once we get closer to a DAO and a DAC, where there's real people in charge of how the gameplay is going to go or where the funds are going to go, we'd obviously want to do promotions and really reward people for validating themselves. And obviously Eden would be a perfect platform to try and integrate into that. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Great job with that app so far. I've used it. Great job.
Well, yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, my name's John Williamson, and I created Violet Garden, the social media site made exclusively for Eden. Initially, I was only going to sort of put out the proposal of it, but a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, I thought, nah, screw it. Like I want to put something out there, get it into production. So I rushed ahead and sort of made the a sort of minimum viable product, and then now it's been in production for about a week. And yeah, so far so good. So for those who don't know, it's essentially very heavily inspired by Voice, which was the original social media network that Block One was supposed to deliver, but yeah, they failed to do so. And so I'm trying to pick up the baton and bring it to the EOS mainnet, and I've made it exclusively for Eden now. Again, with a unique identity, it's just the sort of missing piece of the puzzle to really doing cool things on social media on a blockchain that we haven't been able to do before, with accounts being anonymous as well. We've also got support from Dan Larimer as well. He was pretty keen. He made a tweet, and he jumped on Telegram and got on a voice call with me in the sort of Telegram channel, and so we spoke together for about an hour, sort of going over the app, how can it improve, and new ideas that he's got. So yeah, he's got some really cool ideas that I really like to fulfill, where users can sort of stake for each other, or stake their tokens on another profile, and essentially collect rewards that profile collects as well, and so many other ideas as well. Ideas for communities and things like that. So I really think Violet can be sort of thrust Eden, and then Eden can thrust it as well. But there's a lot of brand new things that we can do, and a lot of cool ideas that Dan has got. So I think with funding, I'd like to bring that out and sort of help create the vision that he originally had for Voice there as well, and just bring more benefits to Eden as well too. And so while majority of funding would go to that venture, I'd also like to put a bit aside as well for sort of help with the branding of Eden. I think it could be perhaps touched up a bit, maybe a Flash website, and a bit more marketing, I guess, so sort of put things into a bit more bite-sized, consumable information. So for new members that do come along, they've got a pretty website, maybe in little animations or whatever we can do to sort of make it easier to consume, and sort of easier to get that light bulb moment of, oh, this is why fractal governance is cool, this is why decentralization is important, and really sell a sort of professional image to newcomers as well, and inform a bigger and better identity of Eden too. Yeah, I think that's
great. Yes, great project you're doing over there at Violet Garden. We've got about 26 minutes left to kind of narrow down, what we think are the most important aspects here that should move on with each individual and their ideas. So let's, I guess, go through that. So Igor, do you want to chime in on what do you feel is the biggest thing that needs to be pushed here going to the next round?
I feel that it's a very special, historic moment where we as humanity can decide on something that will serve the whole collective and our whole planet. So I'm looking that this election process will not just give funding to some projects, but that we can decide on something bigger. That we can figure out some higher and better way to distribute these funds than just financing the development of some particular project. That's just my thought. I would like to see what you think about it.
No, I understand that. So with that being said, was there any of the individuals here today that you would vouch for to move on, or do you feel like that none of the ideas presented really fit your thesis?
Yeah, I already voted for myself because I'm representing this vision to, to what I propose to like give this money to some people who, for example, will maybe plant some trees or clean rivers, or maybe do anything that is regenerative and good for our planet. That is my vision of to spend and what we should do.
Cool, cool. Well, okay, good idea, good idea. So for me, I'm kind of up in the air. I know, like, I feel like I you know, EOS and Eden really has a PR issue that we need to really address, right? A marketing issue, kind of what John talked about as well. We need to really spruce it up a little bit and make it more digestible, understandable. But I also think that we need to branch out, right? It's like an echo chamber right now, right? It's just us and we're talking and we have all these great ideas, but we need to get people who aren't familiar with first blockchain, then, you know, the concept of fractal governance. That's even deeper, right? So we just need to figure out a road plan, a roadmap to really introduce people to this whole atmosphere, this new ecosystem. So I'm kind of torn about, you know, voting for myself and voting for like something what John is trying to do. I think social media platforms could definitely be an on-ramp, but there's so many social media platforms. I don't know if we would run into, you know, that issue of, oh, another social media platform. Are we really going to be able to take market share from a Facebook, a Twitter, a Gab, or whatever it is, right? So I'm really interested. I feel like I didn't hear Todd's full pitch, but yeah, I'm kind of up in the air at this moment.
Yeah, my original pitch was, well, still is, regardless of the outcome, we'll still be initiating roundtable research. It's actually, I've been, fittingly enough, been doing a lot of research, and so I've come to the conclusion that we're going to try to establish a hybrid type of corporation. This is not an LLC nor a nonprofit foundation. This is what you call an L3C here in the United States. It's a form of new hybrid type of corporation that can be set up. So this is the legal structure that we're going to try to use the DAO to create this DAO. Roundtable research is actually going to be.
Didn't they do that in Wyoming?
They're trying to do it with an LLC. So there's a big difference. An L3C is a limited profit company. And it's a hybrid organization. It's never been done before. So what I'm proposing is we use the EdenOS software as our governance structure. And then we're going to be legalizing. There's only a handful of states. Wyoming is a state. Vermont is a state. Puerto Rico actually is probably one of the first choices. So that we're going to be incorporating probably in the L3C in Puerto Rico. This is a hybrid. It's what you call a low profit entity. It allows foundations like the EOS Network Foundation to not just give grants, but give what you call PRI loans. These are project related investments. These can be applied to DAOs like what we're trying to do with Eden here. We can unlock billions, if not trillions of dollars in capital because of the PRI investment opportunity that corporations, foundations, and even government pension plans are able to, under the IRS tax law, are able to contribute to these PRI investment opportunities with L3C organizations. This is something that cannot be done with any other type of organization, corporation, or nonprofit. The EdenOS software will be forking the EdenOS software, but instead of creating another Eden, we're going to create that as our governance structure to govern roundtable research. And we're going to use EdenOnEOS, excuse me, for our governance dispute resolution systems. So if we have a dispute that we need to go to a higher order within our DAO, then we can go to EdenOnEOS to utilize GAN's dispute resolution system, right? And so then once we're incorporated as an L3C, we can then basically offer what I would like to sort of propose as a unincorporated autonomous organization rather than a decentralized autonomous organization. These are more like unincorporated autonomous organizations that we're trying to set up here. And so with the L3C, I would be able to create an umbrella organization that these unincorporated organizations can fall under and even utilize us for our banking system, our legal structure, and be in compliance here in the US. I'm US based. So we're, instead of trying to go completely decentralized and saying, we're going to do everything our way and our rails, we want to try to create a bridge with our local governments to create a compliance level and say, we want to do this in the right way. And we want to create that proxy in between these decentralized organizations and decentralized corporations and governments. So we aim to be that proxy and an umbrella for many global decentralized organizations that want to do business here in the US. So this is a pretty long-term goal, regardless of the outcome of Eden this year. I was a recipient of the 10 EOS from the last fund. So this is what those 10 EOS is seed funding roundtable research. So this has already been seed funded by Eden. This is in the projects and the works. I'm still waiting on a few legal sign-off disclosures. And I wish I could share more with you guys today, but unfortunately I cannot do that for legal reasons. But this is in the works, and we are moving steadfast forward with this. And so, yeah, Eden has already seed funded this project, and if we get more funding, depending on the level, if we go to another level, depending on those funds, is a matter of what we can do to lobby to governments to try to get L3Cs operational in every state. There's only about a handful of states right now that you can run these L3Cs in, and so
yeah, I've heard of that. I think a company in Wyoming did something similar. They created.
Yeah, I've watched closely. I've been trying to wait till somebody does this, and they've hit on it, but they're still creating another LLC. See, they've tried to create a DAO, but it's almost like what Dan describes. It's just a Dino DAO. It's a DAO in name only. These are not truly decentralized DAOs. There's no governance structure to the DAO that they tried to set up in Wyoming. This is a great case study, and I've been following it very closely. But they've hit on some very key fundamental pieces of decentralization to make it a DAO. It's just a DAO in name only. It's a Dino DAO. Gotcha.
Yeah. Cool, man. We got about 15 minutes left. So I want to make sure we get to Dwayne.
Another question that what you propose, if I understand, to create DAO, and these funds that you would receive, you would distribute to this DAO. Is it right?
Yes.
Yes, I like that because that makes sense in this context, because what we are trying to do is called fractal democracy. So I think it makes sense to try and follow it.
Now, these funds will also be distributed to the DAOs that we work with to try to get some legal proxy within the US. So we'll also be funding small projects independently. So there's just so much that this ecosystem that we need to do as a complete network. It's hard to say, you know, one election every 3 to 6 months, we pick sort of one project. There's so much that needs to be done. We're creating an entire parallel economy here. So, you know, there's just so much that needs to be done. And I think with a organization like this that will be structured, all of its members are going to be structured with founders of blockchain organizations. It's not just EOS, but all founders throughout the ecosystem, throughout the industry. So that will be one of the requirements to become a member, is that you're a founder of one of these blockchain organizations, so that we can bring in founders of the entire ecosystem, and so that we can create a powerful network to be able to lobby against or to organizations, companies, governments, so that we can try to get a legal footing on this. So if we don't come together now and create this sort of, it's essentially a lobbyist group that we are a membership, an incubator, and a lobbyist group mixed into one. If we don't do this soon, we're gonna have a problem in this space, and entrepreneurs are just gonna leave this country, and we don't, you know, we don't want that. Yeah. This is a desperate.
Yeah, I think it's exciting that we have a group that no matter who wins this round, I think we can all probably pledge to the screen for all of our future rounds that we're all going to do what we just said. You know what I mean? And we can keep ourselves accountable. And Igor, the heart and spirit of using EOS for environmental and liberating and bringing together big groups, my mission as well. And I think it's just piecing this down to what's next actions out of the 5 of us here are going to have the best chance to get on the second round, because I'd support all of you. And just for myself, yes, I'm going to say I'd vote for myself. Bottom line is we're going to do this regardless. What out of the 5 of us could extend, you know, some honest saying, hey, I'm going to use, you know, Violet Garden. I'm going to make sure that people are coming over to Crypto Blood's channel. I'm going to promote, you know, we've been working with Dash for 4 years, done a lot of experiments of how to get real people on board and what incentivizes them, what keeps them around, you know, how to keep the fresh people that are actually making the decisions in the multi-sig around to even push those proposals forward. So I really admire the kind of service provider behind there to make things easier and more legal. So in saying all that, it's a tough call. I'm just
I know
what's going to put the best, because I probably use all these services, but if I wanted to have the heart of it, of what needs to be done the most, I think I'm going with Crypto Blood as far as the promotion of new people to shine up. And I guess John, you mentioned this as well, to shine up like maybe it's more specific to what we're going to do, you know, for Eden, you know what I mean? So I'd support John saying, you know, the website and doing that, because you're going to be doing Violet Garden. You know, I'm going to be adding in these layers into Alien Worlds and doing some more promotions consortium. So we have like another tick box on why become an Eden member, right? And utilizing the platform, like Todd, like you said, hey, this is going to be an organization to use it. I'm going to be doing the same thing. Yeah, so I'd throw my ring into Crypto Blood, because I think he could have a catch-all that could be talking to an audience and us working with him to be pushing this forward, right? Because, yeah, I think I have enough faith in the rest of us. We're going to be doing this anyways. Now we need a platform to get this out, right? And talk and get more people into Eden. So, yeah, that'll be my vote.
I know you guys probably remember the guy Dallas that used to do a lot of EOS.
If we could somehow utilize EOS.news domain, I've sort of built it on IPFS, so the entire site is running on IPFS. If we can somehow utilize that in any way, I just haven't had time to build anything on it. There's it's page that's up right now, but if we can build anything on that, I'm more than willing to give that to the community. It's something that we can utilize as a really easy place to target. EOS.news, you know, it's we can put a subdomain. It's just a landing page, but the landing page is hosted on IPFS, so it's actually on IPFS and IPNS. And I've also created a button that we can integrate EOS payments directly on that page. I just have that button disabled right now, but I've integrated Anchor directly on that page. And so we can accept donations and with a direct one button click from Anchor, or do a proxy vote or a block producer vote directly on that page from just clicking one button to sign in Anchor. There's no going to blocks, there's no going nothing. I just have it disabled right now. So if we can utilize that domain, I would be more than happy to, you know, put that sort of underneath maybe the roundtable research umbrella. And that was one of the first L3Cs that also I had planned to try and get starting in Vermont. I have a case study out of Vermont for L3C to structure what we call a News 3.0 site. So this is on a little bit further roadmap. So this is about the 6-month roadmap with roundtable research to create that News 3.0 site. But I need developers like what we have here in the community. I'm not a developer, so I've only gotten so far with it, you know, kind of in my spare time, but we need people within Eden. And
so let's get, I definitely want to hear from, I'm sure we all do want to hear from John.
Yeah.
And kind of get his feedback on what he's heard so far.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of Crypto Blood. I think that sort of YouTube engagement is really good, and I think there's something very special about seeing sort of another human on the end of the screen and sort of getting more of that personal touch when sort of consuming this information. So yeah, I can definitely recognize that. And if I wasn't running, that I'd definitely be behind crypto. But then at the same time, I know with the efforts that I put in, and then the support from Dan Larimer, you know, himself that I've got for Violet Garden, and what we've achieved when development's purely been just me, and you know, money's just being, you know, come out of my pocket. I think we can go much further with that extra nudge of funding that Eden can do. And again, it's for Eden, it's exclusive, you know, for Eden. And again, we also got the 50, you know, VIO tokens per day. And so Violet itself as you know, as a company or, you know, an organization, we just get, you know, in inflation. So there's no like that, there's no case where, you know, I get paid without, you know, the community itself getting paid, you know, sort of thing. Like, so if the token value goes up, you know, for me, it goes up for you. So each of you guys as Eden members are entitled to 50 VIO tokens a day as well. So there's already that sort of, you know, mini UBI in place. So I like to work towards making, you know, bringing greater value to those VIO tokens and fulfilling Dan's vision that he originally had for Voice. And yeah, firmly believe that I can deliver some cool shit with a bit more funding.
Yeah, how can we ensure that one of us gets to the last round? Because that's what we really want to happen here, right? We want to ensure that one of us gets to that last round to sort of represent our group. Who can get to that last round and have enough broad spectrum to where we can represent all of our ideas and maybe even fund our ideas. I don't know what you guys can, if you think about, maybe we'll split up some of the pie here with all of us, just split it equally, depending on the level size of the funding, so we can all get representation because we all have great ideas, I believe.
That's
so
what fractal democracy means, where
exactly.
each part represents the whole.
Because we really want someone from our group to win to the top, where we can get to the next level. But if we're not going to win that next level, it's going to be, you know, it's going to minimize our chance to have maximum impact for our group here. And you know, so not necessarily just running for myself. I would like to run for our group collectively. And I love also what you do, Crypto Blood. I've watched many of your channels, and you know, hopefully we can do something big together with EOS.news.
Yeah, like you said,
with content
all of
on
you
that.
said the same thing. We're going to do it regardless, right?
Yeah.
So whether I move forward, you move forward, we're all in this too.
Yeah, if there's something I can represent all of us, you know, that would be my biggest gratification out of this, to be able to represent all of us in a truly fractal way, so that we can all sort of get our initiatives funded and a little bit more awareness, so that, you know, there's so much that needs to be done. I feel like just one project every 3 or 6 months is it's not enough. You know, we need to do more at this point in time. We have to start running 2 steps ahead. We have to get back up ahead where we should be. And if we don't start running, then we're going to get left behind.
Well, I think everyone's got a project that they want to, you know, push forward. And again, if Violent Garden is successful, that'll be the place to advertise it as well, especially for,
Yes,
you know, Crypto
absolutely.
Blood. If he puts out good content, then he's going to get bids on his post. So, you know, if Violet's successful, then Crypto Blood's gonna get that extra income. That's just gonna be long-term dividends. We're also gonna have staking as well.
Right.
So any fan of Crypto Blood can stake their Vio tokens and then collect, you know, a portion of Crypto Blood's reward as
I'm
as
torn
well.
between
So
you and I, John. I am, because I agree with you. Like, I could benefit from and promote on your platform. My only issue is we've got just shy of 4 minutes here. How do we get people to come to Violet? You know, how do we get people to feel comfortable using an entirely new platform outside of the, you know,
all
Facebook,
the founders that are
Twitters?
going to be members of Roundtable Research. These are going to be
Say that
founders.
again, Todd?
All the founders that I'm going to be approaching to become Roundtable Research member will have to be an Eden member also. So then that also gives a perk to become a Violent member. So it's sort of a win-win-win for everyone. And then once we can get EOS News pushed out, and you know, that's going to be community owned. I'm going to sign that domain over to the community somehow. Since we figure out how to do that legitimately and get something built out, that's going to be a completely decentralized news organization. So on top of what we're doing there, but that's a little bit longer. We don't know the roadmap. You know, we could be 3 months or it could be 6 months, you know, so this is sort of my 1 to 3 month plan. And EOS News is the web news 3.0 site is going to be sort of the 3 to 6 month plan. Depending on how long this first election lasts. Yeah. But we can sort of push everyone's,
Okay, so we've got 2.5 minutes left before we need to submit our votes, guys. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm torn. How many people do you have working for you at the moment? Is it a one-man show, John?
yeah, it's a one-man show. I got a guy that wants to intern for me, and again, I've got plenty of support. I've actually had a few people reach out, you know, asking if they, you know, if there's anything they can do to help. Again, the Telegram channel's got 171 members, and I only created it a week ago. So I think there's a lot of support. And again, this is UBI for all Eden members. So, you know, it's free money like every day.
Right.
So, and then again, you know, Dan Laram as a fan, he gave me a call. We spoke for an hour. So I think, again, I want to bring his vision to reality. So
why do you think, I think I'm going to vote for you, but I want to know this question. Why do you think the voice didn't work? They got all this money, all this funding.
They again, we haven't got a whole lot of time, but basically Block One's got a hell of a lot of money that makes them vulnerable to getting sued and stuff like that. So they're trying to do everything by the book. And so when they've, you know, put voice to the government just let it sit on their desk. That's my theory anyway. And they never got approval. And rather than burning money, that's when they, you know, pivoted and they went to another product. 1 minute left, guys. So that's our reason. Whereas me, I'm willing to take the risk. I want to push forward. I'm not asking for permission. Let's do it. You know, I'm sick of waiting. You know, I've been in blockchain for ages. You know, now it's, you know, there from day one on you know, EOS. I'm not asking permission. I'm building.
Love it. You got my vote. Let's work on some. We've done our like little consortium. So, you know, I suggest I'll be giving you a call John to see how we can push some more of these other tokens and other UBI right on the platform, and let's give it a shot. It is a tough battle. You know what I mean? The constant battle is getting the marketing out there. Because Crypto Blood, you have my support. If any other way we can like get more content, get more people. But for this round,
push
I'm
your
gonna
votes.
give my vote to John.
Everyone quick, just push your votes now. No more talking. You got 15 seconds left. I don't want some error coming up on your screen and then your vote token, you know, your vote goes to waste.
You got my vote, John. I got my full support behind you, my friend. Anything I can do to help you, and anyone else here, Crypto Blood, we all sort of need to sort of we're in this together, you know. Let's
Oh,
let's
that
do
was
this together.
close.
So,
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
That was quite...
no doubt. Let's definitely
stress me out.
let's definitely stay in touch,
oh
guys.
damn,
and,
I didn't
keep this thing moving.
sign my transaction here.
See, Ty is over there talking too much, man.
But I